It's been 30 days since something impossible happened. At first, no one panicked. A strange blue light appeared in the night sky. Soft, calm, almost beautiful. People thought it was the moon playing tricks on us, or maybe a rare planetary alignment. But astronomers knew better. That wasn't the moon, that was Uranus, and it wasn't supposed to be there. Uranus had lived a quiet, distant life for billions of years. A cold ice giant sitting peacefully on the outskirts of our solar system, almost 3 billion kilometers away from Earth. Far enough to never bother us, far enough to never matter, until it moved. At first the change was subtle, tiny shifts in its orbit, small enough that only advanced telescopes could detect them. Then the calculations came in, and panic followed. According to astronomers, Uranus was no longer stable. It wasn't drifting, it wasn't wobbling, it was accelerating, straight toward the inner solar system. Initial estimates suggested it would take around 13 years for Uranus to reach Earth's orbit. That would give humanity time to plan, time to evacuate, time to survive. But that hope didn't last long, because planets don't just leave their orbits for no reason, and Uranus wasn't slowing down. New data revealed something terrifying. Uranus wasn't casually drifting through space. It was being launched, hurled through the solar system at nearly 1,000 kilometers per second. At that speed, the timeline collapsed. 13 years became months, months became weeks. And suddenly, just 30 days left. Every night Uranus grew brighter, bigger, bluer. It shined like a giant sapphire hanging in the sky, a beautiful reminder that the end was coming. People gathered outside to watch it. Families, scientists, strangers. Because when the universe decides to end everything, you might as well enjoy the view. But Uranus wasn't coming alone. To reach Earth, it had to pass through the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, a region filled with millions of rocky bodies locked in delicate gravitational balance. Uranus shattered that balance. Its massive gravity yanked asteroids from their stable paths. Some were sent flying outward, others toward us. The sky filled with shooting stars, except these weren't stars. They were asteroids, some as large as 240 kilometers across, several times bigger than the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs. There was nowhere to hide, no bunker deep enough, no rocket fast enough. Earth had officially entered the final countdown, and Uranus was still getting closer. By the time Uranus appeared as large as the moon in our sky, Earth had already started to feel it. Long before any collision, gravity does the talking. Uranus is about 15 times more massive than Earth. That kind of mass doesn't need to touch you to destroy you. It only needs to get close. At first the effects were subtle. Tides behaved strangely. Oceans rose higher than predicted. Coastal cities experienced flooding without storms. Then the ground began to move. Earthquakes erupted across the planet, not from tectonic plates shifting naturally, but from Earth being pulled apart from the inside. Fault lines that had been quiet for centuries suddenly awakened. Megaquakes shattered cities. Skylines collapsed. Infrastructure failed everywhere at once. And then the volcanoes joined in. Magma chambers deep beneath Earth's crust were disturbed by Uranus's gravitational pull. Pressure built rapidly. Supervolcanoes erupted without warning. Ash clouds blocked out the sun. Lava flowed across entire regions. The atmosphere filled with sulfur and smoke. But this was only the beginning. As Uranus continued its approach, its gravity began stretching Earth itself. The planet didn't crack in half, but it flexed. The crust buckled. Mountain ranges shifted, entire continents rose and sank. Earth was no longer a stable world. It had become a victim caught in a cosmic tug-of-war. And while all of this destruction was happening beneath our feet, something even worse was happening above us. The smell. At first people thought it was pollution, then wildfires, then industrial accidents. But this wasn't Earth, it was Uranus. Uranus's upper atmosphere is rich in hydrogen sulfide, the same gas responsible for the smell of rotten eggs. Now imagine that smell. On a planetary scale. As Uranus drew closer, traces of its atmosphere began interacting with Earth's upper layers. The result? A stench so strong that a single breath could make you dizzy. A few seconds? Nausea. A deep inhale? Unconsciousness. Entire cities collapsed not just from earthquakes, but from people dropping where they stood. The sky turned hazy, blue mixed with sickly green. Breathing became painful. And then Uranus revealed its final surprise. It wasn't alone. Trailing behind the ice giant were its 27 moons, each one a potential extinction-level event. They began raining down on Earth from every direction. Impacts shattered continents, oceans boiled, the atmosphere ignited in places. Earth was no longer a planet, it was debris, and Uranus was still coming. By now, Earth was barely holding itself together. The ground shook non-stop. The air burned your lungs. The oceans were in chaos. But the worst part? The sky was no longer safe. As Uranus moved closer, its gravity didn't just pull on Earth's surface. It reached into our atmosphere and started squeezing it. Air pressure spiked in some places, dropped violently in others. Storms formed that no hurricane could ever match. Winds screamed across continents at impossible speeds. Buildings that survived earthquakes were torn apart by the air itself. And then came the heat. Uranus didn't bring fire with it, it brought compression. As Earth's atmosphere was squeezed tighter and tighter, temperatures skyrocketed. Oxygen-rich air ignited, not everywhere, not all at once, but enough. Firestorms erupted across the planet, entire regions burned without a single spark, and hovering above all of this, Uranus filled the sky, no longer a distant blue star, no longer moon-sized. It now stretched from horizon to horizon, a massive blue wall in the sky, so close you could see its cloud bands shifting, so close it felt like it was watching you back. Gravity intensified, objects became heavier, movement slowed, even lifting your arms felt exhausting, your own body became a burden. Meanwhile, Uranus's moons continued their assault. Some slammed into the ocean, sending megatsunamis racing across continents. Others struck land, punching holes straight through the crust. Each impact released energy rivaling nuclear weapons. Civilization didn't collapse gradually, it ended instantly. Power grids failed. Satellites were ripped from orbit. Communication vanished. Humanity wasn't fighting extinction anymore. We were witnessing it. And then, something strange happened. Earth stopped resisting. Instead of being destroyed outright, our planet began to fall in line. Literally. Uranus's gravity overwhelmed Earth's orbital momentum. Our planet was no longer circling the sun. It was circling Uranus. Earth had become a moon. A broken, burning, half-destroyed moon. But a moon nonetheless. Day and night ceased to exist as we knew them. The sun became a distant glow. Uranus dominated the sky. And with that final shift, the worst moment arrived. The moment of contact, not a single explosive collision, but a slow, crushing embrace. Earth's remaining atmosphere was compressed violently. Temperatures spiked beyond survivable limits. Anything still alive on the surface was erased. No sound, no warning, no hero moment. Just physics doing what it always does. And for Earth, that was the end. From space, the scene would look almost peaceful. Where Earth once orbited the sun, there was now emptiness, and where chaos once reigned, a strange order had formed. Uranus continued its journey, but it wasn't alone anymore. Earth, what was left of it, had become one of its moons. A scorched, fractured sphere, locked in an eternal orbit around an ice giant. The impact hadn't shattered Earth completely. Instead, it had reshaped it. Deep underground, heat still lingered. Radioactive decay continued. And, beneath kilometers of frozen debris, energy still flowed. Could life return? Not human life, not anytime soon, but life, in some form. It's possible. On Earth today, life thrives in the most extreme environments, deep beneath ice, near volcanic vents, in complete darkness. If microbial life survived the collision, it could adapt again, slowly, silently. Over millions of years, Earth's remnants could stabilize. A new crust might form. A thin atmosphere could return. Ice might melt and refreeze. And above it all, Uranus would dominate the sky. A massive blue giant hanging overhead, casting an eerie glow across a reborn world. If intelligent life ever evolved again, they would grow up seeing Uranus the way we once saw the moon. They would build myths around it, fear it, worship it, never knowing that their planet was once the center of an entire solar system. As for Uranus, this collision might finally explain its greatest mystery. Uranus spins on its side. Unlike any other planet in our neighborhood, scientists believe it was knocked over by a massive impact billions of years ago. And this collision with Earth, it could tilt Uranus back, restoring its original rotation. A cosmic reset. One planet dies, another heals. The universe doesn't care who survives, it only balances equations. And in this equation, Earth was the variable that disappeared. This is If World. If you enjoy exploring impossible collisions, cosmic disasters, and the terrifying beauty of physics at its limits, subscribe to If World, because the universe is full of stories, and some of them end worlds.